my name's Amanda and welcome to another one of my quilt block tutorials. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this foundation paper pieced arrow block. Recently I've had quite a lot of requests from you guys to show you how to make an arrow block just like this, so I thought I would make up my own original pattern using foundation paper piecing to show you how to make it. Now personally I think that this block is quite simple to piece together, so if you are a beginner to foundation paper piecing and are just looking for a pattern that's just a little bit different but still quite simple to piece together, then I think that this is the one for you. Now if you are keen on making this block, you can find the link to the pattern in the description box below. It's the first line that you see there. It is a free pattern to download from my blog, so use it as many times as you like and have fun with it. Also down in the description box you'll find all of the measurement and cutting instructions for each section. All of these are just really rough measurements for you to follow if you like. If not, then totally wing it and see how you go. And also while you're scrolling through the description box, you will also find a full list of all of the sewing notions and tools that I have used in this tutorial if you would like to know what they all are. Now before we get into it, if you are a beginner to foundation paper piecing and would like to know a little bit more on how to do the technique, then definitely check out the tutorial that I made a couple of years ago showing you step by step on how to do the technique. In this tutorial I do sort of touch on a lot of the basics and do show the basics to foundation paper piecing, but if you want to follow a tutorial that's just a little bit more in depth about each step, then definitely check out that one that I made a couple of years ago. So now that I've got all of that chit chat out of the way, let's learn how to make a foundation paper pieced arrow block. To make the arrow block, you will need a printout of the pattern along with a range of sewing tools and selected fabrics pre-cut at the measurements listed below. Begin by first scoring each of the lines you'll be sewing along on each template with a serrated tracing wheel. Then roughly cut out each template close to the dotted seam allowance lines. Organize your pre-cut fabrics into 3 piles, along with their associated template piece. Place the B and C templates and their fabrics to one side, starting off the construction of the block with template A. To do this, turn the paper template over and dab a small amount of glue on the back where A1 is. Place the fabric cut for this section on top, right side up, and reaching past all of its lines by at least a 1/4 inch. Turn the template over and fold back the line between sections A1 and A2. Then trim back the excess fabric, leaving a 1/4 inch seam allowance. With right sides facing, place the template on top of the fabric cut for section A2. Line up the top edges while ensuring the bottom fabric reaches past all of the outside lines of section A2. Once happy with its placement, open the paper out and carefully pin all 3 layers into place. At the sewing machine, begin the stitch at the line separating sections A1 and A3, sewing carefully all of the way on top of the line between A1 and A2. Remove the pin and turn the template over. Then press section A2 open with either a cool steamy iron or a finger presser. Flip the template back over and fold over the line at section A3. Then trim back the fabric to a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Position the template into place over the fabric cut for this section, remembering to have them right sides facing. Then pin the layers securely into place. Sew on top of the line at section A3 from one side of the template to the other. Press the fabric open into place, then turn it over once more. Using a ruler and blade, trim away any excess fabric and paper from along the dotted line around the template piece. Place template A to one side and move on to piecing template B. Begin piecing it by dabbing a small amount of glue on the back where B1 is. Place the fabric cut for this section on top, right side up. Fold over the line between sections B1 and B2 and then cut the excess fabric down to a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Lay the template on top of the fabric strip cut for B2, lining up the top edges. Open the template back out and pin the 3 layers together. At the sewing machine, sew on top of the line between sections B1 and B2 from one edge to the other. Then press the section open with an iron or finger presser. From here, repeat the same set of steps to complete sections 3, 4, 5 and 6. Once you reach section B7, trim the edge to a 1/4 inch seam allowance and then place the fabric cut for this section underneath. Trim the edge so that it's even with the top. Pin the layers together and then sew on the line between sections B6 and B7, starting at the corner and finishing off of the template. Press the section into place and then piece on the last fabric for section B8. Next, dab a small amount of glue at the end of section B8 to keep it evenly in place while cutting away any excess fabric from around the template piece. From here, move on to piecing template C in the same way as you did template B. When you get up to section C9, trim the top edge to a 1/4 inch seam allowance and then evenly align the template on top of the fabric for C9, right sides facing. Carefully pin the layers together along the whole length of the template and then sew on top of the line from one side to the other. Press the section into place and then trim away any excess fabric from around the edges of the template following the dotted lines. Next, lay out the 3 template pieces and then carefully tear away the paper from the back of each one. Place template A to one side and flip template B onto C, evenly lining together their center seams. Pin the top edge evenly into place and then sew them together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. With a medium to hot steamy iron, set the seam first and then press it inwards towards the center of the block. Then lastly, flip and evenly pin template A onto the edge opposite the arrow's feathers. Sew one more 1/4 inch seam along this side and then press the seam outwards. The finished size of this block is approximately 4 7/8 by 13.5 inches.
So there we have how to make a foundation paper pieced arrow block. Now by all means make the block as many times as you like to create it into a quilt of any design that you like. If you do, then definitely show me a picture of your block or your quilt. I would absolutely love to see it. You'll find all of the links to where you can find me down in the description box below. Now of course, if you're new here and would like to see more of the things that I do here on my channel, then don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you come and join us. And as always friends, thank you all so much for watching and I hope to see you another time very soon. Bye!